What's up, Bob here. Welcome to Vinyl Finds on the Bob Bradley YouTube channel. This is number 78. That's right, folks, number 78. Found some records this week, and we're going to get into them right now. Down at the bookstore, that's right, bam, found this, the East Coast Blowout. This is a sealed record on Jazzline, German press. It was $6.49. I primarily bought it because John Schofield is on board here. As you can see, the WDR big band is involved, so it's jazz, obviously, kind of big bandy, and I've only listened to it a few of the tracks that are on YouTube, so I will probably open it. I'm gonna open this and check it out, but I haven't done it yet. But anytime I see a sealed record for $5-6 or something like that that has potential, I pick it up. It's on Jazzline, yeah. Pretty cool. Discogs said it's worth like $30, so I did all right, I guess. Moving right along. In my quest to own all of the Blue Note 80s, I picked up a few of those this week. We're going to get into those right now. First one, coming in hot. Bam. Grant Green. Grant's first stand, right? Babyface Willette. Ben Dixon on drums. This is an organ trio. If you don't know what an organ trio is, basically it's three guys, and it involves an organ. The organ is playing the bass part with one hand, and then some melody. Are in the case with Grant Green, oftentimes the organ is like comping chords underneath Grant as he solos. Very, very cool stuff. Babyface Willette, right? He's kind of got a nasty, dirty kind of sound. Lots of attitude. Babyface Willette is a badass. Grant Green, kind of a approximation of, say, Charlie Christian and Charlie Parker, kind of melded into one. And this is a fantastic first record on Blue Note for Grant. Yeah, that's right, that Blue Note record. This thing sounds really good, really, really good. But let's get into this other one here. Bam, Larry Young, Into Something, right? Now, this is an organ trio plus Sam Rivers, okay? Larry has a way kind of more, I would say, chill, like kind of really cool sounding organ sound. More in the Jimmy Smith realm. Really, really good. Kind of funky, just super cool. The recording on this sounds fantastic. Obviously, Rudy Van Gelder engineering, right? Kevin Gray on the on the mix here. Really, really killer stuff. Highly suggest this one. Super dope cover. Blue Note label. I did keep the little hype sticker here. Grant Green absolutely playing phenomenal on this. And Elvin Jones in the drum throne. Yeah, Elvin Jones is just murderizing back there. I really like this quite a bit. Out of the two records, I mean, Babyface has a much more kind of aggressive touch than, say, Larry does, but both really good, and happy to add those to the Blue Note 80 collection. Alright, moving right along. Here's one we all have already. I love the cover so much. I see it. If it's super clean, I just can't leave it behind. Bam! Dave Brubeck Quartet, the Brubeck Quartet, Time Out. We all know this record. Take 5, Blue Rondo, etc. All these songs are in different time signatures. really cool stuff. You know, Paul Desmond, Dave Brubeck, old Army buddies. They get together, they make music, and they made this. This is a stereo copy, 6i, right? Now, of course, I already have a 6i mono right here, right? But I had to, you know, I noticed that when a lot of the reissues are made of this record, they reissued the stereo one. When I saw this one, which is clean as a pin, I had to know. So, you know, $3.99, come on. So I picked it up and it sounds fantastic. It really does. It is really, really good. We all know that. I just couldn't leave it behind. Moving right along with great vigor. That's right. This was cool. I found this, was super stoked on it. Couldn't wait to show it to you guys, you know. Bam. That's right. Charles Lloyd, Forest Flower at Monterey, right? This is the one, when people think of Charles Lloyd, they think of this record pretty much. You know, this cover, super iconic. It's on that green and blue Atlantic label. Sitting in the rack. Great shape. VG++. 20 bucks, you know. I thought, yeah, yeah, that's coming with me. And you know, it kind of starts out this record with it starts out with the title track, Forest Flower, and you know, it kind of comes in like you know, like you're watching some type of movie and there's like a lady walking through a grocery store or something. It just has that kind of vibe to it. And then of course, as the song moves on, it starts getting into some heavier things. But there's some burning playing on this record and pretty beautiful stuff overall. You know, these guys are very skillful musicians. They kind of go from, you know, like really being in the melody and in the song to playing a little bit out. And, you know, it's pretty good. It's pretty good. If you're like building a model car, or maybe that's a dated reference, if you're doing something that requires a lot of concentration, this might not be the record. You'll be smashing whatever it is. Just you know, I don't like to listen to stuff that's outside sounding whenever I'm trying to concentrate real heavy. It can get annoying to me a little bit. And this has just a little bit of that on there. You know, I'm down for a little bit of experimental emoting, if you will, but this one's not too bad when it comes to that. Now, it's a great record, by the way. Now, my next record that I found, Blowout, Coltrane, live at the Village Vanguard again. That's right. Late period Coltrane. On that Impulse label, yeah. There's two songs on this. Naima, My Favorite Things, right? Technically speaking, there's a bass intro on side 1 to My Favorite Things, which takes up all of side 2. Now, we'll just talk about Naima. It starts out like Naima. They might be playing it in a different key or doing some type of voice leading or something like that. It sounds a bit different, but yeah, it's Naima. So, beautiful sounding. And then basically all hell kind of breaks loose. You know, and I'm not going to try to speculate on what Train is trying to accomplish with these kind of, you know, almost like animal noises and really sounds of like, I mean, at times he's making these sounds come out of his sax that sound like people screaming in agony almost. And the only thing I can kind of perceive about the music is that he's trying to create some type of contrast, some kind of light and dark. When you listen to 3 or 4 minutes of just all out madness, and then the song comes back, it's like, whoa, you know. Alice is on this. She's playing pretty well in this. McCoy Tyner. I was reading on the Wikipedia about this. They said you can barely hear the bass. Yeah, if you listen through a cell phone, you're barely going to hear the bass. Okay. On my stereo, the bass is fine. Okay. Yeah, this is a pretty decent sounding record, and the 2 tracks are pretty good. My favorite things, the whole side 2, and it gets pretty wild. I think to the casual listener, they would just think that it was all out madness. Not for the uninitiated. Coltrane diehards only, more than likely, found this. Also $20. I'd seen it several times and passed on it due to condition. This one is pretty freaking clean, and I was really happy to get it. So yeah, not a huge group of records this week, but pretty cool stuff. Coltrane, Charles Lloyd, Brubeck, Grant, Larry and Grant, and the East Coast Blowout with Schofield. That is the cool thing about the Blue Note records, though, you know. When you get a Grant Green record, you're getting a Sam Rivers record, or a Babyface Willette record, or an Elvin Jones record. It's not, yes, it's released under the name of that particular individual, but you're basically getting a murderer's row of players on the record that, you don't get that anywhere else. And basically the lineups change from record to record, so it's not always the same, you know, which makes it kind of cool because you get this interesting situation where, like, take the Larry Young record, right? You get Sam Rivers and Grant Green together, and they make a pretty awesome team. So, yeah, it's just fantastic stuff. I'm super thankful for the Blue Note 80 and Tone Poet series. I'm thankful for the Music Matters stuff. Just the fact that they're making awesome pressings of these records and they're out there and you can get them. It's pretty cool. I mean, I still love the original stuff, and if I can find one, last video I made, I went on this whole thing about buying audiophile pressings instead of a G Plus or whatever, but the reality of it is, if I see a G Plus for $5, I'm buying it, okay? I'm not leaving it behind, because at least one of the songs is going to play good, and it's worth it for me to understand what the sound of those original records, what it was like, and I'll pay the money to hear it. So yeah, I'm really this was a good stack of records. I thought I was really particularly stoked about this. This is a beautiful record. If you see it around, you should definitely get it. It's a classic record to have, and wasn't in my collection, so yeah, pretty cool. I do have some other cool things coming up, so stay tuned. Still working on, me and the guys in Condors and the System are still working on the record, yeah. And there's going to be more forthcoming stuff about that. So yeah, until we meet again. That's right, folks. Bob out.
Thank you.